Hey guys, thanks for joining us here at Salty Ginger Talk. If you're a returning listener, it's great to have you back. If you're new to the channel, we're really glad you joined us. Hope you like what you hear. So, our podcast encourages people to live a life of meaning and purpose. Everyone has to decide for themselves what has meaning and purpose to them. Our whole argument is if you're unhappy, if you're floating, if you're not pursuing things intentionally that are important to you that have meaning and purpose, you're doing it wrong. You need to take a look at your life and you need to start taking action, moving towards the things that are important to you. So, today we're going to talk about one of the biggest reasons people don't do that, which is fear and anxiety. Fear and anxiety are silent killers of potential, plain and simple. Fear doesn't disappear when you think about it. Fear doesn't disappear when you ignore it. Fear doesn't disappear because you wish it away. Fear disappears. Anxiety is the same way. It disappears when you take action. So today, we're going to give you 5 of the most powerful reasons we can think of and we can find that explain why taking action destroys fear and anxiety. If you want to stop worrying, if you want to stop feeling anxious, if you want to stop sitting and fretting about things, start taking action. It is the only solution to those problems. Why is that? Reason number 1. Action interrupts the fear loop that's going on inside your head. Anxiety and fear is imagination without direction. It's a story that your brain plays out on repeat over and over and over again. Endless scenarios. What if I do this and that happens? What if they react poorly? What if I get laughed at? What if I fail? It's funny how we never ask ourselves, what if I'm well received and my life gets better? What if I don't fail and I succeed and everything goes the way I want it to? What kind of a life could I had after I took action? The problem is you can't get out of that loop until you take action. Action interrupts that story in your head. Even one small step, like sending an email, making a call, hitting the gym one time, breaks that loop of paralysis. The act of moving down the road will start to make you feel better about the fear and anxiety, whatever it is that you have going on inside your head. It could be about work, could be about the relationship you have with the most important person in your life, could be about your family. I don't know what it is. We all have those things going on in our head, and the only way to take care of them is to run towards them and start taking action to handle them. Okay? That leads us to reason number 2. You cannot think your way into courage. You can only act your way into courage. Courage does not come before action. Courage comes from action, plain and simple. Therapists use exposure therapy for this reason. The more you face your fear, the more your brain learns, hey, I survived this. And let's remember, we talk about this a lot. Our brains were designed to keep us alive. They have not evolved to our current modern day society where there's not a lot of things that can just jump up and kill us immediately, like a saber-toothed tiger or another predator, or the things that we used to have to face before we became domesticated and lived largely in an urban civilized world. Today, you can get food delivered to your house. Most of us have heat and electricity and water, and we know we're going to have dinner tonight. We don't have to worry about the same things. Your brain doesn't recognize that. It still looks for things that could potentially be problems for you and tries to make you avoid them. Even makes you avoid taking action against them because your brain wants to keep the status quo. By exposing yourself to whatever it is you fear over and over and over again, you can start to develop courage when you find yourself facing that thing, that scenario, that situation. Courage isn't a feeling, it's repetition under pressure. The more you take action, the less fear and anxiety you're going to feel, period. Number 3, action builds proof. Confidence isn't belief. It's not believing in yourself. Fake it till you make it is bullshit. It's just not true. Confidence is built from evidence. Every time you act, you're giving your brain evidence that you can handle this. Even if you try something and fail at it, then you try something and fail at it a little less. Then you try it again and you fail out a little less. Your brain will recognize the progress you're making and say, hey, we can get to a spot where we can do this. We're not afraid of it like we used to be. Those data points are going to keep telling your brain, we can get there. We can do this. We can handle this. We've got this. That's how competence grows. One move at a time. Action builds proof. Start taking action so your brain can have the proof it needs to convince you to keep going. That takes us to point number 4, which is momentum beats motivation every single time. Stop waiting to feel ready. It's not going to happen. I will guarantee you it's not going to happen. You're never going to feel ready. I wanted to play professional baseball. When I got out of high school, I had a couple of scholarship offers to schools I didn't like very much. And I wanted to go where there was good baseball players. When I was young, that was California, Arizona, or Florida. And I lived closest to California, so I moved to California and I went down there to play baseball. I had confidence in myself because I thought I was a pretty good baseball player, but I didn't know I was going to go play against the best baseball players that were my age. But I took action. It worked out well for me. I showed up and there was 125 guys and 25 guys made the team. I happened to be one of them. But I didn't know if I was ready or not. I knew I had to take action because it was shit or get off the pot at that point of my life. But I started moving. I started taking action. And motivation shows up after the motion begins. Once you get down there and go, hey, I can hang with this. I got the game. I can get this done. I'm good enough. Not for nothing. I'd been practicing for 15 years of my life, dedicated to try to make it down that road. So it was those consistent action steps and consistent putting myself in situations to test myself. Sometimes it went great. Sometimes it went terrible. Baseball's a game filled with failure. If you fail 7 out of 10 times as a hitter, you're great. That's what batting 300 means. But because I had taken action, I had the confidence to put myself in those situations and believe in myself, and it worked out for me. The momentum was my friend. Momentum is physics in your favor. That only happens by taking action. And our last reason here, movement creates meaning. It gives purpose. When you're acting, you're focused outward, not on yourself. You're focused on purpose. You're focused on progress. You're focused on your contribution, whether it be to an individual event or a team event or work or a family or a relationship. That's when anxiety starts to shrink because you're building the life that you want. You're taking action and your brain says, hey, this is good stuff. Let's keep moving towards it. Let's keep taking these actions. Let's keep doing these things because we like the results that we're getting. That movement is going to create additional meaning in your life. I hear a lot of people today say, what's the point? What's it all about? I don't think those people are in good relationships. One of the most important things in my life is my relationship with my wife and my family. And I've built that over 32 years, showing up all the time. Has it always been awesome? No, it hasn't always been awesome. Has it always been easy? No, it hasn't always been easy. Have I ever once thought about giving up or leaving it? No, not once, not ever. Because I know how important it is, and I know it's where I get the most value because it's not intrinsic. It's not just me. Your life is going to have meaning and purpose when you focus on things outside of you, and movement will help you do that. Meaning replaces the fear and anxiety. You can't be paralyzed when you're living intentionally. You'll just keep taking action because you've built momentum and motivation through taking action. So let's say it again. Fear does not disappear when you think about it. Fear does not disappear when you study about it. Fear does not disappear when you talk about it. It vanishes, it goes away when you move through it, when you start taking action. Nothing wrong with talking about what you're worried about. Nothing wrong with talking about your feelings. But if you're not taking action to change those thoughts and feelings, you're just pissing into the wind. It's not going to help you at all. So take the step. Start small and just keep going. Refuse to quit. Refuse to stop. The cure for anxiety is not comfort. It is action. Remember that, start living that, and watch how fast your life gets better. Okay, guys, that's the episode for today. Look, James puts it up every day. Head over to our website, saltygingertalk.com. All of our podcast episodes are available there. Links to all of our social media accounts are available there. We publish a newsletter every weekday that you can subscribe to on our website. We have awesome guests come on our podcast and talk about their life stories, share what they've learned to build a meaningful, purposeful life with you, give you real world examples of what they went through and how they have changed, how they think about things, how they approach things. And you can learn from those and incorporate those into your life and build the life of meaning and purpose that you want. We also do episodes like this where we give you concrete examples of why things work the way that they do and how you can start moving or move faster towards building the life that you want. It's all great stuff. You don't want to miss any of that stuff because it's going to help you get to where you want to be. Make sure you catch our next episode. We'll see you there.